Hey guys, this is OffTopicGames, and we have a 16G Zone update deck profile on Spike Brothers Rising Nova.
Yep, great. So, guess I'll start off with the new Stride Zone, because that's important. First off, I'm running 4 of the Shoot Down King Miracle Ace. This is a very good card. He's primarily a finisher card because his second ability is a GB3 and it's a Soul Blast 2 to call a unit from your hand. So it's kind of a pretty good finisher because you want to have it near the end and you waste your entire hand when you're doing it too. So if you don't kill him with this card, you're pretty much not screwed, but you'll be at a very big disadvantage. Next I run 2 of the Great Villain Dirty Picaro. His effect is GB3, Counterblast 2, and choose a card from your G-Zone and turn it face up, and Soul Charge a card from your hand, and you get to call however many units from your deck that you have face-up cards in your G-Zone. So you'd be at pretty much, it's a guaranteed 3 cards from your deck, and he's a really good setup. And just 2, pretty much, is all I could afford. I would run more if I had more money. Yeah, here we go. I'll run 2 of the rare Great Villainous Dampfire Lily. She's a good just first stride. Just to her effect is when her attack hits, you get to call a card with charge from your hand, give it plus 5,000, and when it gets sent back to the deck, you get to draw a card. So it's a pretty even, and it gets another attack off. And even if it doesn't hit, though, it provides some pressure. Alrighty, and next up I have Super Heavenly Chariot Tiger Centron. He's from the Fighters Collection. He's a Counterblast 1. Choose any number of your rear guards with the charge ability, and they become charging, and choose up to 5 other rear guards, and they get plus 2,000 until end of their turn. So basically, he's just, if you have a lot of charge cards in your on your field and you want to get him back into the deck, use him pretty well. And both of these 2 are good for flipping up for Dirty Picaro's effect also. Alright. And last we have a Blizza and a Seabreeze. I run the Blizza just because I end up flipping a whole bunch of cards face up from this deck, so I haven't gotten to use them yet, but I'm glad that I keep them in there just in case. And Seabreeze is just pretty standard, just because if anyone gets grade locked, you can punish them a lot. Alright. Next on to the new G-Guardians. I run 2 of the Spike Brother ones, which this one gains plus 5,000 if you have 3 or less rear guards. So, and that's pretty easy to do in this deck because you send most of your rear guards back, or you just don't call them out yet. I haven't had a problem with her yet, not having too many rear guards to guard with. So that one's easy. And then I run 1 Screwy and 1 Dismal. Screwy, right?
It's fine.
Screwy.
It's called Screw.
Oh, Screw. Dismal. Yeah. I mispronounce things. I like to do that.
Yeah, mine.
Dismal is when the perfect guards are rear guards, so it's just good against D-Police or anything. It cannot be chosen, right? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Card effects in the attack.
Yeah, and it has resist, so it can't be
Broken.
yeah, broken. And then Dismal is just a nice 25k blocker if you don't have enough guard in your hand to have. Alrighty, let's get down to the good stuff. For my grade 3s, I'm running 4 Rising Nova. He's the Optimum Stride. It's not game over if you don't ride him, but it's really helpful if you do. It's kind of game over, but not necessarily. His first effect is GB2. When a card from your hand put a card from your hand into the soul, and when this unit attacks, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one card, call it to open rearguard circle, and shuffle your deck. It's a pretty good, but I don't use that effect pretty much at all, because mostly I just use the stride effect, and if I don't stride, I'm kind of screwed. So, and his next ability, which is really good, is when something strides on it, choose one of your Vanguard, and it gets Counterblast 1. Choose a card from your hand and put it into your soul. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, search your deck for up to one card, call it to open rearguard circle, shuffle your deck, and get plus 5,000 until end of turn. It's really good for searching out anything with charge, really, and plus it gets plus 5,000, so it's really good, and optimum stride for sure. And then next one is just the Bulldozer Dobie. He gets 10k whenever he's charging, so if you call him out with Rising Nova, he's a 26 just by himself, so it's just a really good one, and you'd want to keep these guys in the deck mostly. So for striding, you'd want to ditch Rising Novas, because this guy's a really good rear guard. He's really powerful, and he really pushes for games. Alrighty. For my grade 2s, I'm running 4 Wink Killer Misery. She's really good. She has pretty much the same effect as Rising Nova, which is Counterblast 1, soul charge a card from your hand, and call a unit from the deck and gains plus 5,000. A play that I mostly do is I call her out with Nova, and then call another unit out from there, so that it won't be such a crap lane. Because it has to be boosted also for its effect to go off, and it doesn't get a boost itself, it only gives a boost. Next I have pretty much a copy of the grade 3. Grade 2 Heave Wheeze, I guess. It gains plus 10k when it's charging, so it's just really strong. And it's just, basically you'd want to call Dobie, but if you don't have him, he's just as good. So, just minus a little 2k. So, and lastly, I run 3 Cobalt Impulse. His effect is, when this unit attack hits a Vanguard, if this unit is charging, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and retire it. He's a really good early game pushing card that I usually do. Like, mostly on my first strides, I either call them out with this ability, give them a little boost, and see if they, it just puts pressure on the board, and see if they either block it or if they take it. If they take it, that's great, you get a whole lot of pluses, and if they block it, that's more cards out of your hand, I guess, out of their hand. Also, it's really good to call him with her effect, because even if he doesn't hit, he'll still you'll still get to draw a card, also. That's it for my grade 2s, and here's my grade 1s. Yes. For perfect guards, that are the unflippers for spikes. Standard, just unflippering, because you use a whole lot of counterblasts in this deck, so you need all the unflipping you can do. Next, I run 4 Stride Fodders. Great for striding, and also great for searching out Nova, because you really need Nova. And I'm not afraid to use them, like, just calling him out, even though I have Nova on the Vanguard circle, just to search for a different grade 3 and thinning out the deck, because I don't really search for Nova in the deck anyways. I mostly search for this guy, so it doesn't matter if Nova's in the deck. And this deck is really good at deck thinning, so you can hit triggers much easier. And I run 4 more of the Frog Raider. And this guy's effect is when your unit with the charge ability is placed on a rearguard circle in the same column as this unit due to an effect from one of your cards. If you have a Vanguard with Rising in its card name, stay in this unit. So this is actually one of the more important cards in this deck, because ideally I'd want to have him on probably an open rearguard circle, and I'd want to, let's say, here, let me give you a little taste. Boom. So ideally I'd want to, let's say, attack with this, and this guy's charging and he's sent back, and then when I call another unit from the deck, like a Bulldozer Dobie, he'd be able to stand up. That's it. So, and which is just great, because then you have another booster. And what I usually do is with this guy's effect, his second effect, which is give 5k to a rear guard when or his first effect is give 5k to a rear guard when something's put back to the deck. So what I do is attack with this. This one will get put up back, and then I'd Soul Blast to I give the power to this guy, because he's pretty much the only thing on the field that stays on the field, and it goes with all my other rear guards. It boosts them too. So basically, you'd want to power up this guy and then attack a whole bunch. But yeah, 4 of him, because he's super good, and it's really easy to search him out because you have just a bunch of stuff that can search him out. Like when I set up, I usually put maybe 2 just in case they retire something on the rear guard circle, so I can use 1 at least. Alright, and lastly, for grade 1s, I have just 2 of these. Moonmaker Nyaruk. I cannot say that name. Nyaruk. It's a cat in a football helmet. That's it. It's just, it gains plus 4,000 when charging, and it doesn't have to be attacking, so it can give a plus 4,000 boost. So that's pretty good. And also, when it's sent back to the deck, it also gives another 4,000 to another unit that you choose. So it's, I like to call that one behind, like, where is she? Behind my grade 2 Winker Killer. So that after I attack, she get this will be a pretty good lane, and then after I attack, it goes back to the deck, and then I can give more power pretty much to the frog guy, so that he's even more. All right, and onto the triggers. So running 4 heals. The first heals that they got, I like her the best. The Tree Girl Tiara. Next, this is where it gets kind of interesting. I'm running 4 crits that are the Soul Charge on flip, because you use a crap ton of counterblasts in this deck. So you want as much unflipping as you can, and Spike Brothers does not have that much unflipping. And then I only run 2 of the rising stuff triggers. Liar Lips, the rising trigger. The one where it's when your Vanguard with rising attacks Soul Charge, draw a card, give plus 5k. It's good to Soul Charge, and it's good to just draw a card too if you want. And now I have 6 draw triggers. I run 6 because I play the deck with just 4 draw triggers and all those crits, but what the problem is, my hand size would be dwindling a lot, and I'd have to Soul Charge a lot of other 10Ks, and I wouldn't get enough rear guards in my hand either. So I just think 6 draw triggers is much better than 4 draw triggers, and because you're gonna need Soul Charging stuff, and you're gonna need rear guards in your hand. Because where is he? Alright, this guy. This guy his effect is from the hand, so you can only call things from the hand. So it's better if you have a bigger hand size. And is that all my triggers yet? And then lastly, I run the grade 3 searcher. Everyone probably else runs the Conroe, the Conroe grade 1 searcher for Spike Brothers. It's much better, but I just don't run it because I still get miss out on my grade 3s all the time. And I just like it because it also soul charges, and you need soul in this deck. And it really helps with that. But it is a counterblast, but just like the Conroe other one. So it's pretty simple.
Oh, no.
So let's see. I'll do an ideal formation for you. So, obviously, Rising. Winker. That guy. Frogger. And we can put a Strife Otter there. And let's say, yeah, let's leave that one open. So, you stride with him. His is an axe, so you do it that turn. You counterblast, unflip. You need at least 3 counterblasts to pull off a decent play, which would be 1 for him, 1 for him, and 1 for her. So if you have 3 counterblasts, you guaranteed at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. You're guaranteed at least 4 attacks, but depending on your hand too, because you can still call units from your hand. 4 at the very least, but you can do much more if you have, let's say, actually, let's say I have that guy, 1 of him, and that, and where's the last guy? This guy in my hand. These are the 3 units I'd use to call. What's up? Did I kick it or something?
No.
What cards? Oh, these bottom ones? I can see them. There we go. Perfect. Alright. So ideally, you want to attack with the Vanguard first and activate Rising Nova skill, which is Soul Charge a card from your hand. Counterblast 1, Soul Charge a card from your hand. And you want to keep these 3 in your hand, alive. Soul Charge him. Call a unit from the deck. You'd call Bulldozer over here. He gets big. Say that he's charging. He's plus 10k. They do whatever. They guard. They don't guard. Doesn't matter. You'll have a crap ton of attacks. He attacks your Vanguard. 26 plus 7, so 33? 33. I can math. Yeah, 33. That's 33. 33 to the Vanguard. That's a good number. He goes back to the deck. His effect, give plus 5,000. You give plus 5,000 here. You wouldn't use the call from the hand yet, because you want to wait till he gets this Frogger guy gets bigger in order to do that. So next you'd want to attack with Winker Killer, Misery, and use her effect, which is the same as Nova's, Counterblast. Soul Charge a card from the hand. It could be, you're not screwed, it can be a Perfect Guard, because I've done that plenty of times, a Soul Charge to Perfect Guard. Because you don't need to stay alive, you just need to kill him. And call a unit from the deck, and you can call right back Bulldozer Dobie. And this is a 33 plus 5,000 now because of his second ability. So that's 38 to your Vanguard. And he'd go to the bottom of the deck. And then you'd call a unit from your hand. You'd start off with the lowest numbered unit. That's what I would do. He's Soul Blast 3, so pretend that you have more soul. Because you've been soul charging this whole time with other effects. With his effect also. So you choose that. He restands. He has right now 2 boosts on it, and if you get any triggers, you'd probably want to put it on him too. So, but just by his effect, he has already 2 boosts on him. So that's 16 plus 10. That's 26. He goes to the bottom of the deck. Call another unit from your hand. He restands. He gets another plus 5k. So that's. And this guy gets plus 10k, that's 20, well, let's see, 16 plus 10, 26 plus 10 more, and wait, he has 4 boosts on him, so, yeah, he has 4 boosts on him. Oh god, I'm terrible at math. 46? He'd be a 46, around that. He's big, he's huge. And then if they're not dead already, they're usually dead already. And then just finish him up with Bulldozer Dobie. He gets another plus 5,000. It's huge. It's crazy. And hopefully you win the game. Other than that, though, pretty standard. Basically, with this deck, you just want to kill them before they kill you and ride Nova, which is pretty much, you know, all decks. But this one especially, just go for their Vanguard all the time.
Face is the place.
Yeah, face is the place. I've made the mistake of not going face, and I've lost because of it. So, it's funny, I can misplay this simple deck, but I can. Alrighty, that's Rising Novas for you. Do an outro?
Alright, so thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already check out our Facebook and Twitter link in the description. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave one in the comment box down below, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video.
Bye.
Yes.